Welcome to today's press conference, in which we will be providing updates on the athletic department's progress as we move to launch our varsity athletics program for the fall 2022.
As I was interviewing for this position, I drove to the intersection of Atkins and Howard and looked down the hill and saw the athletic field where Petoskey Northman used to play. I thought, holy cow, there's some real opportunity here.
Rod Anderson, who is one of our full-time faculty, and he's also a runner, came to me and said, what do you think about having a cross-country club? Because I have students in the high school that are graduating and they don't want to stop running. And so I said, okay, well, let's see what we can do.
That was the first real shot at collegiate athletics here at the college. That was also my first attempt at coaching cross country as well. So club experience was a beginning in many different ways.
We started small, incrementally, with intramural sports. That's really where we started to kind of demonstrate the concept. And when we met with success, right, there really was an open mind to saying, hey, we can do this, we should do this.
Right. It became a reality when the president came to me and said, we want to hire an athletic director.
You're looking for an individual who has the passion, fire in the belly, loves northern Michigan, embraces snow, right? You know, winters here. But most importantly, has all of the attributes to pull it all together.
So we came up with a position description. He came to me and said, I want you to oversee that area, and that come up with a position description, and then we posted it.
Did you guys see my email about the score table?
2018, my husband and I were living in Mount Pleasant, and we started talking about wanting to come back to northern Michigan and trying to make our plan of how would we get back here if this is where we want to live. I made the decision, you know, I'm probably going to need to get out of college athletics in order to do that. So right around when we got married, I moved into a little different role, moved from Alma to CMU, and worked in the admissions office there. Still pretty close with athletics as the athletics liaison for all their recruiting, but building a resume and something else. So rolls around 2018, and we said, you know, let's make a 5-year plan to get back to Petoskey. About 5 weeks later, I had a job offer from North Central to come work in the admissions department.
We wanted to find someone that really knew how athletics worked, somebody that knew recruiting, somebody that knew what the rules were, somebody knew how to apply for and get approval from the NJCAA, who we are now a member of, as well as being part of the MCCAA, which is the Michigan Community College Athletic Association.
I was at a lot of Division III institutions where you wear multiple hats. So while I was a head women's soccer coach, I was also an assistant women's basketball coach. I was also in the admissions office. I was also an assistant registrar. I became the senior women administrator in the athletic department. And at one of my institutions, I was our compliance officer. I was in charge of home game management for all basketball games. So I was assistant athletic director in a lot of realms already.
As we looked at athletic directors, and I knew Ashley had applied for it, I knew she had coached at the college level in soccer, and it was at more than one university. And she came to us as a recruiter, and when I said, we're thinking about athletics, her eyes kind of sparkled, and we hired Ashley Antonician.
I thought that when we made the athletic director hire, that was the decision, that was the go, that was the green light.
February of 2020, let's try to get things rolling to be able to start in fall of 2021.
And so it was perfect. You know, the only glitch was we had to push pause.
Is the worst yet to come, Dr. Fauci?
Yes, it is.
That is a warning from a top national health official today as the coronavirus is officially designated a pandemic. Late last night, Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced the first 2 coronavirus cases in Michigan.
President Donald Trump will address the nation on the pandemic tonight.
Yeah, March 2020, we said, okay, we still want to do this, but let's hold tight.
We really struggled, and COVID has made the college struggle in general. But it's almost like we all just kind of sat and did a little bit of nothing because we couldn't get into any high schools. We could talk to students by Zoom or on the phone, but it's not the same as getting them to campus and selling them on our campus and knowing that this is where they want to come to play athletics. So it really did damper us.
I mean, everyone has felt this pandemic is a stressor, right? There's no one who's going to say they haven't in every department. And so trying to start something during it has been challenging. But I also think there's been benefits to it because we're really committed here. I have the support of our administration, from our president and from our board down, that when we roll this out, we're going to be rolling it out the right way.
Ashley, I'll say, stepped back into an admission role. She had been an employee here in that capacity, and so that was sorely needed.
Hi, I'm Ashley Antonishin, Athletic Director on campus.
And I'm Corey Lansing, Director of Student Outreach and Engagement, and we'll be your host today on this tour of North Central Michigan College.
We didn't know where we would be, come the fall. Joining the NJCAA it's a 3-year process. And so your first year is an application year and a 0 year where you're not eligible to compete. And there's a lot of parameters and criteria to get accepted. And so I was able to do a lot of that legwork, getting us ready, but without ever formally submitting an application.
It's going to be so much better. I mean, we've been wanting to do that for how long? When we took the jump to join the NJCAA, it happened very, very quickly. It's like we need to put our application in now. If we don't, a year from now, we're going to lose that ability to get a program off the ground. So we jumped. I think we put our app in August, and very, very quickly we had to do things. NJCAA had meetings, Zoom meetings with Ashley, myself, and the president, and it went to their board, and they approved us as a member. So it was whirlwind at times. It's like, okay, we're really doing this. So I said, are we moving forward with that system? And he said, yes, we are.
We circled back to the board and said, we're ready to push play. Let's make this happen. We've worked through the pandemic. Now it's for real. We're putting money down. We're renovating facilities. We're hiring coaches.
We can set up meetings to kind of go through those things.
Every day, actually, we have a list that we go over, and what do we have to do today, and what do we have to do tomorrow, and what do we have to do to make sure that cross country starts in August? What do we have to do to get the volleyball team here in August and to have our first event here on campus?
We have signed a contract with Nike, and BSN is our supplier of Nike, so we'll be an official Nike college for all of our sports teams. And designing the custom uniforms is definitely one of the fun things of my job. And so that was good. They've been ordered already, and the supply chain, you never know, so we were early on that. And then I'm currently building our athletics dedicated webpage, which will allow us to do our stats, our rosters, our schedules, live streaming, a place for recruits, fans, and everyone to kind of stay up to date with everything going on in athletics.
When Northern Michigan looks for champions, it looks to My Sports Now.
Last month, North Central Michigan College announced the start of its athletic programs for the fall of 2022. And today, the volleyball program received its first commit. Pelson's Jordan Daly signed to continue playing for the Timberwolves.
Recruiting has been, one of my big priorities on this, is making sure that we're getting the right fit student athlete in. So from the moment we submitted the application to the NJCAA to start fall 2022 is when I started recruiting our volleyball student athletes, is when we had Rod Anderson, our cross-country coach, start recruiting our cross-country student athletes, and then hiring in coaches or me overseeing a little bit of the basketball recruiting.
I was really excited that I had 6 commits already when I came in. I got hired in beginning of May, so it's a little late going into this next year. So I thank Ashley and everyone else, every volunteer that helped her out to at least get those 6 commits. I'm super excited as a coach, and I know if I was a player going into a program that's never been there, I get to be the one to start it. So I kind of use that little spiel of, you can come here and start the whole athletic program. You'll always be known because of that. And it's a great thing that not a lot of coaches or athletes get to do that. So it's something, it's once in a lifetime kind of thing, and it's super exciting.
You know, if I didn't have that prior experience or the previous 3 years kind of building into this, I don't know that I would necessarily be able to accomplish everything that we need to accomplish for the cross country kind of moving forward. I think having that as a base, understanding, and also just some of the initial relationships with coaches in the area, having that as a starting point has been extremely valuable for me.
It's important for our college in Northern Michigan to give this opportunity for our local individuals as well as recruiting from all over. I mean, we are recruiting from out of state. There's a lot of changes. We're having to put a floor down in our student community center because we don't have a wood floor. So it has to be a wood maple floor, and we have plans to do that. So every day is challenging to do something different on the list to move forward.
Following our commencement in May, we will be putting down the wood floor on one of our courts in our gymnasium and starting renovations for the facilities to be game ready for the college level.
Probably among the biggest things, right, getting our facilities prepared, that regulation basketball, volleyball floor down in the Student Community Resource Center, renovation of some other spaces to accommodate coaches, to accommodate referees, to all the things that are needed. The trainers, athletic trainers.
I'm not a facilities, construction, walk into a room and be able to tell you where to put the sink type of person. So as we're doing all of this great renovations to our existing space, I really rely on the experts that surround us. And we've got some great people on staff here, and we work with some really great people who are able to kind of help lead me in that direction.
It's awesome to see it from the beginning to the end. We're about halfway there. I can't wait till it's done and we can start playing on it.
We're still waiting, supply chain, shipping things. Our bleachers won't be in till mid-season for volleyball, which is okay. We've got temporary ones to get us going. Our official sideline chairs have a pretty similar timestamp of when they're going to arrive.
I knew I wanted to play volleyball somewhere, but I wasn't quite sure where yet. And I got in contact with Ashley, and I came for a visit with Ashley, and I love the environment here. The staff was so nice, the campus is great. It's exciting. I mean, it's a little nerve-wracking because we kind of set the bar for everything to come after, but it's a lot of fun.
We were asked by our officials assigner for the conference if we could host some scrimmages for them to train and certify new college officials in this area. With the addition of us, with Bay College joining the conference, and to help out Alpena, who has a hard time sometimes getting officials up here, they really wanted to certify some more. So we had Bay and Alpena come so they could train some officials. It was a really nice little dry run for us in our facility, for our players to kind of get used to things. And then it's always great to compete against someone else. It doesn't count in standings, but it really gives you that nice look of, we've come a long way in 2.5 weeks so far. We've got a long way to go, but what are those things we really need to focus on kind of in that short term?
It was fun. We were all really nervous because it's our first game, first time for the program, but we came out pretty strong and we ended up winning. So
I think it gives us, a boost, helps us for our next
game.
The conference coaches ranked us second. It's a coach's preseason poll, so it doesn't, you still have to go out and win games for anything to really matter, but I think it's a testament to how well our institution has done in building a program. The support that we have both from our community and the institution itself, they really recognize that we're doing things the right way here and what we're building, what we're doing, and that we did a great job recruiting. You know, we've got some great players. First ones on this Timberwolves court. It's been awesome just having this energy back on campus. For the 13 players, you know, on the volleyball team, you know, North Central is their choice because of volleyball. You know, they're here for this opportunity to keep growing their volleyball skill set, for an amazing academic career, starting them on their path, and at the same time to build all those skills and memories that come with being a collegiate athlete.
Sort of the beginning of this year all the way till now, a lot of recruiting that's been happening, a lot of conversations, and so it's great to have them actually here on campus, and that's really what makes it feel like the season is really starting.
Get to that tempo pace, concentrate on holding that pace, okay, for the full duration of that tempo session.
I saw a paper on a table that advertised like, oh, we're gonna have varsity cross country. I'm like, ooh, I definitely want to do that. I met Coach Anderson in like October of last year and actually started training with him then, just because I was really excited that this program was going to happen. I just wasn't officially part of the cross-country club program, but I was working with him for a really long time, just because as soon as I heard about it, I'm like, I definitely want to be a part of that.
Going from club, it was a lot more relaxed, and now that we're going into an official team, it's like, okay, we're going to conference, we're going to have these different meets, we get to compete, we get to medal, and the younger guys haven't really felt this before, and they're just getting into it, and for us, we've been waiting for this for a long time, and now we're just excited.
There's much more intentionality. There's a different expectation, I think, from the athletes and also from us as coaches. So that really ups the game quite a bit, and it makes it really a lot more of an exciting moment to really get the season started.
What we're trying to accomplish today. So we'll talk more about this as we go along throughout the next couple of weeks. But one of the basic approaches is that you're going to have these days where you are kind of stressing your body a little more.
To be the first year and kind of like the groundbreaking area for North Central and kind of building this community, and then hopefully this is going to flourish and pick up.
Downhill, okay, still easy.
It's really a fun thing to be able to initiate something, to be at the ground level. So. That builds a certain amount of excitement, and I think also it's just anytime you jump into something like this, it's a team. There are these goals that you have, and there's a lot of excitement for the season.
You know where the route is? Follow Robbie.
Getting to be one of the older guys on the team as well, being a junior, and all the rest of the guys are freshmen. Gives that level of experience in cross country, and it's nice to have somebody that's older and somebody a little bit more experienced in cross to kind of mentor the younger guys.
I've always wanted to run cross country in college, even if it's just a small division right now. This is actually really, really cool. We had our meeting, we got all our new gear, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. This is top-notch level and everything, and I was really excited about it.
When COVID hit, there was that kind of year where everything shut down, and kind of my dreams kind of dropped. Didn't think it was going to work out, and now that it's working out, it's a dream come true.
Our first competition is a tune-up race next Wednesday in Grayling with Kirtland Community College. So it's a dual meet, really just an opportunity to get out there and have a first race.
I'm excited and nervous at the same time. I think because it's only a week and a half of training together, I think this is kind of just going to be a let's see what happens type of race. But that's also what it is. It's only us and Kirtland, so it's just a very laid-back race, but it's just to kind of see what it's like and get into it again. And so I'm excited for it, but I think it'll definitely be an interesting time to experience that, for sure.
It's exciting, and it makes me think a lot about how far we've come in a really short period of time, and a lot of the work that's gone into getting it to this point. So our athletic director, Ashley Antonishan, has done a remarkable job of getting us through that and getting us to this point. And it's an amazing thing to be able to look at what has happened, and also to see the student athletes who are now arriving on campus that really and tell us that process, the beginning process, has gotten to the right stage, and so that's exciting.
To see this all come together and take North Central Michigan College even higher with respect to our service to students and the communities in which we live, learn, work, and play is just a lot of fun.
I think it will be important for the students to help them be successful in moving on in their life career, because I know personally, by being an athlete, it really taught me a lot as to how responsible I had to be in college and even in my career.
This really is about providing opportunity for those student athletes, for the fans that both will accompany them as fellow students, as well as Petoskey, Traverse City, the communities in which we, again, live, learn, work, and play. It's exciting to take this step as an institution, and it's one piece of all that we're trying to accomplish.
It is indeed a very exciting time in North Central history.
Building a first-time program, there's a lot of energy and a lot of buzz around it, but when it's physically here and now and people can see it is where they're really starting to be like, wow, this is real, we've done it.